The main argument of my chapter, Outdoor Sports in the Periphery, Far from the Compact Games, is that outdoor sports can tremendously contribute to rural revitalization, and I will discuss whether the Tokyo 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Games can boost this effect. I will be looking especially at mountain biking, which became Olympic discipline in 1996, and surfing, which will have its Olympic debut in Tokyo. To make my argument, I will try to answer three questions. First, where is a place for outdoor sports in Tokyo? Well, I sort of answered that in my title. It's in the periphery, rather far from the urban center. Now that means that these events will be held in rather rural localities. So my second question is, what are these small towns doing for the games and outdoor sports? But the question which I personally find the most interesting is my third question. What are outdoor sports and the games doing for local communities? My chapter ties in with an increasing research interest in rural Japan, especially from the viewpoint of shrinking towns and villages, sustainable land use and sports tourism. But mountain biking and surfing are more than just competitive sports. They are subcultures and, to use a big word, embedded in global social movements, which makes them particularly interesting for social science research. Both sports have in common the direct interaction with a wild and nearly untamed nature and the thrills that come with it. They are, on the one hand, highly individualistic and hedonistic, but also share certain DIY ethics and a huge sensibility for the environment. They are not practiced in a stadium or on a field. Surfing beaches have to be found and good waves have to be waited for. Mountain bike trails have to be scouted and built by the athletes themselves. This is why these sports sometimes get into conflict with landowners and other users of the elements. But herein also lies great potential for cooperation and building trustful relationships. As Japan is an island with lots of mountains, one might think both surfing and mountain biking are flourishing and contributing to rural life already. This, however, is not so much the case, and I explain why in this chapter. The postponement of the Games has taken some emotional toll on the localities and sports my chapter dealt with. Local people and volunteers who have been preparing for the Games are losing their excitement and motivation, which is not surprising in the overall climate of anxiety related to the corona outbreak. In both localities, hospitality and tourism are important industries, but as of now, there are no severe financial impacts resulting from the postponement of the Games, or these impacts are negligible compared with the overall impact of the corona epidemic. Of course, hotel and restaurant owners want visitors to return as soon as possible, but that is not so different from places that were not scheduled to hold the Tokyo 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Games. Looking at the long-term impacts of the corona epidemic, there might even be a chance that sports and recreation that are practiced outside and alone or in small groups, like mountain biking and surfing, will be less impacted than team sports or indoor sports. Therefore, there is reason to believe that they will become more popular and important for rural areas in post-corona Japan.